So this website, I'm pretty sure this top group is for Texas residents. It doesn't really explain that, but you can see the cost comes out to. It's a great experience. A lot of my friends went there. It's, you know, they learn so much, and the professors, they go there usually every year, so it's the same professors who are doing this every year. So they know the place. They set up living for you. You know, it's a really great experience.
And you're taking courses. I mean, you're getting
credit. You're in a studio there.
That's not just for the travel. That's
right.
for tuition, right?
You're doing a studio based in that
Full
city.
studio.
And you also get an elective with that too. So that's pretty much a full semester.
You know, these classes, obviously, that they would be in English, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. Everything's in English. I think the Paris program was in like an English part of this French school, so you know, they work with you, and it's something they've been doing for a while. So they're.
And once you get there, like say if you get accepted in your third year, you're good to go. What's the tuition at Texas Tech? Or what's the price, like the cost?
The cost of tuition, thanks for tuition. So,
Undergraduate?
graduate. Undergraduate was a little less, probably $3,200, $3,500.
Reasonable.
Yeah, it's very.
price.
And the reason it is reasonable is because it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a hard time for them to get. It's hard for them to get people to go out there. I mean, my little brother, when he graduated high school, he had a full ride to A&M, and Texas Tech said, "Okay, we'll give you $18,000 more if you come up here," because they have to draw people in. You know?
Right.
And one thing when I was there was I got an email one summer during my internship in Houston, and they said, "Hey, we got this scholarship. Do you want to apply for it?" I said, "Sure." So I had to send a resume, and I got it, and it ended up being like $1,500 a semester. And I found out it was for transferring students, people with work experience, you know, that kind of stuff. So you got to look into that stuff, pay attention, talk to your advisors, you know, get to know everybody.
Those who are interested in applying and going there, you mentioned that it would really be important for us to kind of be familiar with some of the programs. Can you kind of just list?
Enrique, I'm sorry. So the format is about 30-minute presentation, and there's a full 20 minutes for questions, because he may cover some of those in maybe in 10 seconds.
The curriculum, pretty much. So, you know, when you're going through your studio, when you're going through school there, anticipate what you need to take every semester. Know which classes are only offered in the fall. Know which classes are offered in the spring. Because sometimes that'll mess you up, and sometimes they change it too. That third year Digital Media 2 class, I couldn't take that my first semester because I hadn't taken Digital Media 1. So I had to take Digital Media 1 my third year. Basically, it's attached to a studio. So the third year, fourth year students, or I think third year students, that Digital Media 2 is attached to your studio. So the two classes work with each other. So I mean, that's stuff you got to know. You got to talk to advisors and professors about that kind of stuff. So I mentioned the accreditation. National accreditation is every, I think, 6 years or something like that. The National Board of Accreditation, which says, okay, your school is allowed to offer an architectural degree that will eventually lead to licensure. That's basically what it is. They have a group of 5, 6 people from, you know, they're compiled from around the country. They come and pretty much examine the school's curriculum, classes, extracurricular stuff, and they look for strengths and weaknesses. So this is a great resource to see what is Tech good at, what did they get bad marks for last year, and the thing to think about is these things they got bad marks for, which were here are concerns, technology and engineering, you know, tectonics, that kind of stuff. That's the stuff they're going to be boosting up as much as they can in recent years after this. So keep that in mind. But this is a great resource. And like I said, it's all on this website. It's the accreditation report from 2010. And going back to researching your faculty, this all goes in line with research what you want to do too. You know, find a professor who fits your interests, and then talk to them, and you know, find out what their studio might be. You know, the lottery thing that I was talking about, where you choose your professors, you don't just go in there blindly. They give a presentation of what their studio is going to be, that kind of stuff too. So, get to know, like I said, the software requirements. computer requirements. They require laptops for students. This is on their website too. Definitely comes in handy. They have a computer lab there, but it's really hard to rely on that. There's some people that do, but it's really tough to do that.
So you are required to have a laptop?
You're required to have a
from
laptop.
Freshman forward?
So when you're going there, when you're trying to transition, first thing I did was I tried to find a job up there because I needed one. And, you know, I was putting myself through school. I applied. If they were in Lubbock, I applied there. But I also went to somewhere that was College of Architecture has something called Archway, which is basically where students can sign up. They can list their portfolio, and I can't sign up because I'm not a student anymore. But you sign up there as a student, you list your portfolio and your resume, and you look at potential employers that are trying to hire. So there happened to be one architect in Lubbock that was looking for someone, and he was among the other people I sent my resume to. And he called me up and offered me a job, and that was the only place I got a job offer was for an architect in Lubbock. So throw everything out there, you never know. So once you're there, things to do, things to keep in mind. Student organizations, get to know people, get to know your professors, the new students. The hard part is coming from SAC, which is a close-knit group. I'm sure y'all pretty close by now, especially when you get up to Studio 4 and Design 4. I know we all hung out. So you get up to Tech, you're coming to an environment of 250, 300 students at the junior level that have been together for 2 years. And it's kind of hard to kind of adjust and kind of fit in. So get to know people. There's lots of clubs. Let's see. You're probably pretty familiar with AIS, Habitat for Humanity. And the cool thing is you go to Habitat, and the guys who design the houses are both professors at Tech. And they've been teaching there for about 50 years. So they know everyone. You get to know the professors really well, even the ones you might not have. Talk to them in the hallway. You know, if you see some work that you like, go talk to them, ask them about your projects. They're always pretty open about that kind of stuff. And the benefits that come from that is when you graduate, you go to career fair at Tech. They have a pretty good career fair for architecture. And you know, if the professors like you, they're going to introduce you to architects they know around Texas. And a lot of my friends, that's how they got jobs. Was from their professors that knew architects from Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. So you got to network. You got to get out there and meet people, because it's not just to kind of help yourself adapt to the new location, but also to build yourself up a network that you can rely on in the future. Okay. So I talked earlier about software downloads. Is anybody familiar with the Autodesk learning community? If you sign up on here, you can get free software. And
once you're at Tech.
You can do it right now.
Okay.
You can do it right now. So if you see some programs you might want to learn that are offered through Autodesk, which the majority are, you can sign up here. Some of them might be like a 30-day trial, but a lot of them are permanent. And you know, they're pretty useful. So this is another good resource to keep in mind. It's the Autodesk learning community.
And guys, that's open to professors also.
Yeah.
You can, I mean, I have the latest version of AutoCAD and Revit, and it's on a 13-month loan period. And once that period expires, you are then eligible to get the next version for another 13 months, and it just continues till forever. So take advantage.
And Tech also offers discounted software also. That's something to keep in mind once you get up there. I was talking to Gil.
Laptops.
Yeah, they do. They have laptops that meet those requirements that they sell. I was talking to Gilbert, and he was stressing because he didn't have Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop last week, and he needed it for something that was due the next day. But that's something you got to keep in mind, because Adobe Illustrator is probably a program I used more than any other program when I was in Tech. And it's, you know, you can buy a package for a pretty good price with student discount. You get student discounts and everything.
One of the things, sorry, real quick, that when I'm mentoring other alumni, whether it's the four of them that went in together. He's referenced Gilbert, Sanchez, right? Perez, several times now. Perez, Sanchez. Gilbert just went there, and I put Gilbert in touch with Robert, because I knew the kind of person Robert was. But almost all of the alumni are like this. And so one of the purposes of this meeting today, and I don't think Robert's going to want 20 of you hanging off on his little charm bracelet, but I know that he feels very committed to assisting this program. So one of the things this is about is, as he's been emphasizing the whole time, is network building. Y'all start talking to each other. I'm thinking about it, because don't miss the point that he made about shopping programs to each other. If you get accepted to A&M, and you get accepted to Tech, and your first choice was A&M, right, and UTSA, you can use the fact that you were accepted in those other programs to get a better deal. You can shop it, and if you never apply to these programs, even if you don't think you're going to go, and you get accepted, and they give you a deal, you can use it to reinforce the package to the place that you want to go to. So this is one of the things that's starting here, because I just have had over the years this impression that almost none of you think about going anywhere but UTSA. So even if you want to go to UTSA, apply to at least one of these. And you're hearing some good things about Tech, to try to push that package or as a safety in case you don't get in. But
I'm going to get in real quick to kind of resources that Tech has. I know y'all have your print shop and your library. The shop here, there's a model shop, which is pretty big. It's a big model shop with little modeling kind of bandsaws and jigsaws. The print bureau, it's not free, but it's a pretty good price. I know they have, okay. So they get like I think they get a new plotter like every semester. Basically, they print all the big stuff for the university too. You have photo paper, all kinds of stuff. So I talked to one of my professors last week. They just got their CNC mill up and running. If you don't know what that is, it's pretty awesome. It does pretty much 3D kind of carving of wood, stuff like that. They have 2 3D printers, which they didn't have when I was there. They have 2 laser cutters, which are awesome. They're great tools, and you can't let yourself start relying on those tools, but they're great to help you realize your ideas. Library, amazing library, 2-story library, it's awesome. So, one thing, once I finished, and I was getting ready to graduate from grad school, and I was looking for work, and I went to the Career Center at Tech, which is right next to the architecture building. And one of the things they suggested, which I can suggest to you right now, and you don't have to wait for graduation, you can do it anytime you want. Find some architects that you might like in the local area. I went to Austin, Dallas, and say, hey, I'm not asking you for a job, but I'd like to come talk to you about ways I can make myself more marketable. What can I do with my portfolio, with my resume, and bring it all and show them, treat it like an interview. And they give you great advice. I had a woman architect come to Tech from Austin. She was friends with the dean, and she gave a lecture to our class of like 300 people. But I remembered her, and I emailed her, and I said, hey, I saw you in my class a couple years ago. Can I come talk to you about ways I could find a job? And she was really nice. They didn't have any openings, but she referred me to all these people in San Antonio, like with Overland and Marmon Mock, and that just opens up the doors. You meet new people. So don't wait to get to the point where you're trying to graduate and find a job. Start doing it early. Start making yourself, best possibly, equipped to work coming out of school. So I know I went through it kind of quick, but as you can see, most of the presentation was on the Texas Tech website, and it's a great tool. And the person to talk to up there is Jess Schwintz.